Working on live. Are we live? Rumor has it we're live. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to day 2 of maintenance. So, last week we did the first 2 maintenances, which was your daily and your weekly maintenance. So, if you're interested in seeing those videos, go back. Make sure to put a link in the video below so it'll be in the playlist. Also, hi, welcome. I am Juliet, and this is Colorful Threads Embroidery, and we are doing maintenance on the Melco Summit machine today. And if you are new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button to help me grow my channel so that we can get the algorithm and the information out. Thank you. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed to my channel. If you want to make sure you get notified for any videos or lives that I do, which are going to be my Sunday fun days, hit the bell and make sure you select all. All right, and if today you learn something new or you pick up some tidbit of information, please give me a thumbs up. And as always, I'm always interested to see where you are watching the video from, so don't forget to drop in the comments below from where you are watching me today. And welcome to Sunday Fun Day. Okay. So, we are going to be doing, if I don't fall off my stool. Okay. Maintenance. So the only prep that I did today is because we're going to be taking off the side gray covers for doing the maintenance on the side, is I did pre-take out 2 of the screws so that I'm not like clambering behind the machine for an extended amount of time. Okay, so on my Summit, I'm going to go to my maintenance window, and it's telling me everything all over again because it's been a few days since I've worked on the machine. So I'm not doing daily, weekly, we're doing monthly. And I'm just going to click through this. At the very beginning, it tells you what maintenance you're going to be doing, which in this case is 10 million stitches. So if you're using a older model machine, an Amaya, an XT, the XTS machine, or the first version of the EMT 16 machine, these maintenances were 50 million and 100 million stitches, which is way far away, especially when you're dealing with different environments, right? So I'm in Florida. We have saltwater air. We have a lot of high humidity. So we want to make sure everything stays greased and oiled. So what they did was they brought everything down, and the farthest out you go with your maintenance is the 30 million, which is going to be the quarterly maintenance. So if you're using these older model machines and you have never seen the 50 million or the 100 million maintenance, go and do it. We should at least do it, I want to say quarterly. But if you're using your machine like on the weekends, it's just a hobby machine, you could do those every 6 months, would be fine, just as long as you're doing it and not waiting 3 years. So, all right. 10 million next. If you have any kind of clamp, fast clamp, hat driver, anything on the machine, remove it. The last thing I had on my machine was a hat driver, so I don't even have my arms on the machine anymore. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, all right, next. So, you know, interactive, the machine's moving and doing stuff while you are clicking through. So we're going to read and complete everything on each page before we click next. I have it all memorized, so I'm not going to read it to you. You can read on your own. All right, so remove my end cap cover on the right. I don't necessarily feel the need to remove the cover because I know where I'm going and what I'm looking for. And when I get to the left side over here, which is going to be better for the camera, I'll show you what's inside there. So I'm going to go inside. There's some rails in there that I'm going to, can I help you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, babe, just tell me. I'll help you. Everybody knows I got a fabulous cameraman behind the scene. Okay. So cleaning the rails. So cleaning the rails is something you definitely want to do. I have all of these fabulous cloths. They're lint free. And I'm just going to get in there according to the picture and clean out the old grease and the burnt stuff. See the black on there? Camera, where's the right? Anyways, black, right? So that's what you're getting out of there. The black is lint and dust and burnt grease. We want to get that old burnt grease out of there, all the old dirt stuff, and just to keep my fingers clean, we're going to pitch that in the trash. Okay, so you can apply the grease in a couple of different ways. Like part of the instructions tell you to use a cloth to apply the grease. I've never had it come off of the cloth before, so I tend to use the tip of my grease bottle. Woo, as an applicator, and I just run it on the rail. So when we get over here, I'll show you the rail. Let me get this side done and we'll move to the other side. Excellent. Okay. All right, so grease is on. I'm going to click next. Wants me to replace the cover that I never took off. I will move chat. We'll move chat up here out of the way for now. Okay, so now what I'm going to show you is where you're going to, what you're trying to get to. Remove cap. Clean and grease the rails. Grab my rag. Yeah, see, we're going to be looking right here. We are a team. Sorry for all the shakes, but what you're looking for is this rail. So at the very end here, see how there's like a round steel rail here and a round steel rail here? Back up, camera. Back up. There you go, right there. That round steel rail right there is what we're trying to get to. So I'm just going to wipe clean. And the front side. Awesome. And you don't have to get 100% of the grease off. Then I'm going to put the tip of my applicator on, and I don't have to cover it all, but I do need to get some blobs in there. Did we get the other side? I can't see. I got a tiny bit. Hold the camera there and I'll use the camera to see. Ooh, this is tricky and fun. Look at that. All right. Ha! We did it. Okay. I got the grease where it needs to go. How fun is that? Put my cap back on. Yay. It's a little vibrating and wobbly and all that kind of crazy stuff, but we did it. Okay, so this is the rails that makes sure that your left and right movement of your machine goes smooth and you have that good smooth move, because it can affect your embroidery if it gets dry and chunky and then it starts dragging and stuff. So keep that left and right movement good. All right, we have cleaned and greased. So we're going to click next and it's going to move. All right, so now we're doing this upper left cover. This is the cover that I kind of took off some screws for. Oh, measuring tape. All right, let me get off my stool. So we're going to do one screw here and one screw in the back. So I'm going to go around and do the back screw first. And hope I don't drop it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it. All right. So that's the last one from the back. I had already done the other two. And then the last one is the one here in the front. The last one. Cover. All right. Now then, everybody's got your blower. We're going to do a little blowing in here, which is not in your maintenance. But when you're in here, you want to clean. Well, anytime you have a cover off your machine, you want to clean. So there's a rainbow colored cable in here. See that rainbow colored cable? And that rainbow colored cable is attached to a circuit board, and then there's a groove there. And I want to clean all of that so that that circuit board gets a good reading. And all my stuff is clean. Anywhere that's dusty. Clean, 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 clean. All right, now that it's clean, I'm going to complete the next step, which is we're putting drops of oil. Get my oil bottle. And we're going into the hole here that's not marked. And it says 25 drops. So we're going to count to 25. It took all of them. So excellent. All right. We have done our oil. Next step says to replace the cover. I'm not going to replace the cover at this stage because when we get to the next step and we talk about tensioning our cable, I want to do that on this side where the camera is at. So I'm going to leave it. It's not going to hurt anything. This cover I can leave off. Next. Move to the other side so I can take the other cover off so that I can also put oil on this side, which is one front screw and one back screw. Golden Dirt. I'm here ready to learn something new. Hi, welcome. Golden Dirt, my favorite fan. It's my mom. Yes, we are doing maintenance today. Together. So if you have any questions about anything related to maintenance, please drop it in the comment below. I will answer them as best and truthfully as I can. I will give you current, accurate information. Okay. Cover is off. Again, I'm going to do my drops on this side. Looks just like the other side, only no circuit board on this side. Okay. All right. 25 drops. Next. So, X cable tension gauge, right? So now we're talking about the cable that moves everything X, which is left and right. I have to open my gauge because I'm not using my tech bag today. I'm using what is found with your machine. Okay, So X cable tension gauge. We want to install this. So we're going to put this on our machine because you want to make sure that you keep an eye on your gauge. You want to keep an eye on your tension. What is your tension? This is going to affect your sewing. That's why we do it, right? It's why they developed and designed this really cool gauge that is absolutely user-friendly. So the X cable starts on one side of the machine, serpentine around through the machine to the other side. So it terminates on both sides. So you can do the tensioning of this on the right side, which is where the instructions are telling me to do it, until you run out of threads on your tightening screw. And then you're going to move to the other side. When you no longer have tightening threads to adjust your cable tension, this is when you're going to need to replace your cable. If you're still under warranty, you're going to make a phone call to tech support, get it replaced. If you are out of warranty, you're going to make a phone call to your nearest local technician, get that thing replaced so that you have good stitches. All right, so what we're looking at is over here. I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to lay it down. So what I have right now is good cable tension. If I look at where that cable is on my gauge, it's right here. See this little finger sticking out right here? That's where your cable tension should be, right there. And when I put this on, that's what I see. Right where it needs to be. Now, if your cable is halfway through this cutout or above this cutout at all, you need to tighten your cable. It's loose. So up here's loose, down here's tight. So if I was to adjust this cable, let's say, so we are in or out. So on the software, the next screen says, hey, are you within the specifications that you need? And it shows a picture. Are you out of the specifications? And do you need to tighten it? So there's a green check meaning it's good and a red X meaning it's not on mine. They might be closer together if you're using software on the computer. But are you in or out? If you're out, it's going to tell you to tighten. So you'll need a 5mm wrench. Come back over here with the phone, with the camera on the back side here. Yeah, so see this screw? That's a 5mm. So you'll either need a 5mm wrench or driver. Back up a little bit. Yeah, right there. This is where we're talking. Right here is the threads. And see, I still have threads here, so I have plenty of adjustments left. So if you need to adjust, you're going to tighten here. Holding this with a pair of pliers, tightening and turning that with the screw. Turning that screw with a wrench. All right. Okay, so it will walk you through this. So are you in or are you out? In my case, I am in. So I'm going to click the green check mark. Take off the gauge. Gauge is off, verified. If you proceed without taking this guy off, you can jam your machine. So that's what it's saying to me now. I've got a caution. It is off, verified. Replace cover. Replace cover right. So I'm going to replace the cover. Okay, later I'll put the rest of the screws on the back side of my machine. Okay, replace cover. Now it wants to find my eccentric. So the eccentric, the grabber eccentric, which is what it's asking for here. Can I tap on the picture, make it bigger? No, okay. It's behind here. It's behind here. There's a motor. There's an eccentric, and then we got to put our grease in there. So I'm going to grab me a pea-size ball. This is where if you like peas, depends on the size of your ball. Pea-size ball. I'm going to go around the other side. Move my lever, put my grease, and let it go. And we're done. Yay, all the fun jiggling and jiggling. Hold your breath. It's all good. Okay. All right, I think that's everything I'm gonna need to do as far as like moving the camera around, because we're done. When I click next after applying this grease, I am done. We are good. Check mark. Okay, now then, I am going to replace my left cover real quickly. Needles, 16, go. And like I said, when I'm done later, I'll put the other 3 screws in the back. Okay. Put this guy away. All right, now then, we've completed that maintenance. It's really not that hard to do. Most of them aren't. What's going to be annoying is when we get up here to our rollers. You know, the rollers that work very hard for you. Those are going to be in the next maintenance. So we are going to be doing our quarterly maintenance starting now. Ready? Okay. Maintenance and quarterly, which is 30 million stitches. So go do your 50 and your 100 if you haven't done them. Okay, quarterly maintenance is going to be inside the machine in here. Next, no drivers, no hoops. Next, we're going to remove the right hand side cover. So we need 2 Allen wrenches for this. We need a 2.5 and a 3. And I'm going to take these top 4 out. They are the 3mm screws. This is a pretty dangerous maintenance, and you want to make sure you replace this cover when it tells you to. I had to do a service call a couple of weeks ago for a client who had their software in English and they speak Spanish, and she ended up dropping her needle bars and I had to go fix her. So last screw. Oh, that was supposed to be next. Wiggle and jiggle, wiggle and jiggle. Got a cover out. All right, cover's out. Next, so our cam, which is back inside of the machine, we're gonna do some grease. I'm just gonna use my finger. We need the light if you want to show down inside here, and you'll probably have to put here, I'll take and hold on to the light, and then you're gonna have to come over my shoulder into the machine here. So this gray piece, we're just gonna swipe the grease in behind so that you can't see it no more, and it's right where it needs to be. So keep the camera here and hang out. I'm gonna click next on my screen. So now it wants me to lift my lever And then inside, I'm going to grease. So I'm going to again do a little bit of grease. You can use your stick for this one. Again, a pea-sized ball. So I'm lifting and installing the grease right here. Got it? All right, put it down. All right, make sure that your foot, your presser foot, comes back down. If you lift your presser foot and you let it stay like this, stuck up here, it's gonna jam. So if this happens to you, pull it back and let it pop out and down, okay? No jams. All right, now then, next thing I'm gonna do is reinstall my cover. So you can move the camera back around. I'm just gonna reinstall my cover. Get my first screw started. Didn't know you were gonna go for a ride today, huh? All right, so I want to install these screws, and it says in the second paragraph, reinstall your 5 screws. This cover is what holds all of your needle bars up into the machine. So we want to make sure we put this back on before we go any further, because we don't want to click next and then have all of our needles drop down. So we're going to reinstall, and it says to reinstall the cover and make sure it's loose. You want to be able to grab it and jiggle it up and down. You want to make sure this first screw here on the left-hand side is smooth across there. Kind of feel a bump when I run my finger, but it's mostly smooth across there. So wiggle, jiggle, pull down on it. Move the cover all the way to its downmost position. Now we're going to click next because it's going to raise everything and move so we can tighten these screws. Warning, warning, warning. Cover is on. Yay, it didn't jam. So now I'm going to tighten these 2 screws that are exposed on the end. And then what I like to do during this part of the maintenance is actually come in and tighten the bottom one, even though it wants you to do it on the next step. You can do it at either point. It doesn't matter as long as it's tight. Next. 3 and tight. And tight. All right. Now when I click next, it's going to move to the other side. Oh no, it's going to have us grease. All right, so we're greasing. Cleaning and greasing. Grab my cleaning rags. And I'm cleaning the groove. Get in there and clean. Got my black and goo out. And then you can distribute the grease along the edge if you want to. That's kind of what they show in the software as you come in and you're going all along this edge like that. That's fine. Take your pea-sized ball and just dribble it across. You can also come in and put a drop. We'll put a drop on the other side. And next. All right, now we're going to do our left cover. Same MO. Loosen and remove these. And then I'm going to see if I can purposefully cause the machine to jam when we're done. We'll see how it goes. Okay, screws are out, cover up and out. Excellent. Next, cover out. Next, okay. Pea-sized ball and our little distribution stick. And we're just going to go right down the front edge. Voila. Greased. Next, reinstall cover. So again, I come in, rotate, wiggle it around till it gets in place. Install my first screw. So, it's tedious, but you know, it needs to be done. Okay. All right, now we're going to see if I can jam the machine. Let's see. It's on. Yep. Couldn't even make it jam. I was going to try to make it jam. So if you get your cover and it's loose and it jams, it's going to go because it's trying to move. So what you want to do when it's doing that is just put your fingers in the groove and you're going to pull down on that cover and then it's going to go and finish its thing. And I even tried to make it jam and it's like totally jam proof now. All right, so I'm going to tighten my 2 screws that I can see. There's nothing to tighten at the bottom because we didn't remove anything on this side. Next, tighten and tighten and get all the way down in there. Good thing the new screws are silver so we can see them in there. Okay, those are tight. Next, clean and grease. Okay, so I'm going to clean and grease. And you can just do a big blob as well as distribute it. So mine is very, very dry, so I'm going to make sure that I swipe mine down across there. But a blob will work there as well. Okay. Next. Now we get into the rollers. So you can put everything in one spot and be stationary for a little while because we're going to be doing the same thing. But guys, we are almost done. So can you raise it up? Because I'm going to be standing and working the rest of the time that's up here. Yeah. Rollers. Okay. Now, I will need you to do me a big favor, Drew. If you will go into the house and do one of the rare things that we do, I need 2 paper towels. Yes, 2 paper towels for the cleaning part. All right, so this step is to raise all of our roller levers. Rollers, lift pinch rollers. Now, it gets really messy, and so what I have found is I like to take my threads that are all now loose and gather them all up, and you can do it behind the needle, in front of the needle, wherever you want to do it. But I found that if I grab all of the strings down here, except for the ones that are caught, and I tie them in a little bundle, then they won't get all over the place. Oh, it's hung on my little sign. Okay. Still with the burgundy. All right, that's plenty. I'm going to tie these all off in a little knot so they don't come unthreaded. And voila. Next, okay. Now I'm going to take out all the little covers here. Lay those down. Thank you. I'm looking for my brush. I thought I had a brush. Maybe I don't have a brush down here. Okay. Take out these little covers out and lay them down. I can actually move the grease. No more Allen wrenches. Put those away. Okay. Covers. This is just a lot of tiny pieces, but it really doesn't take too long. The longest part will be picking stuff up off of the floor. Okay. Covers are off. Now, the next picture, they have two pictures. One picture shows using the little roller removal tool. Roller removal tool. Oh, look, I found a magnet. So this is the tool. Roller removal tool. So if you have this guy and you haven't lost it, that's the bottom picture using your tool. And that looks like go in with the little scoop and then rotate and pull that roller out, set it down. If you lose said tool, then it shows using 2 screwdrivers. And you're not pulling out like this when you do this. You're just hooking and pulling up and out. So I'm going to go in with 2 little screwdrivers and just go up and out like that. So these are if you lose said tool, screwdrivers. Put my bobbin screwdriver back there. Put my new stuff away. Okay. Now let me get all these rollers out. Okay. And if you're watching me, you could be doing this with me, so following along with your machine as well, checking on all of the cool things. Let me know what model of machine you're working on today. The Bernina E16, any of the Melco models. What machine are you using? Okay, all out. Now, next is cleaning your hubs on the inside. So I have a thin little finger and I can get my fingers in there. They're using a cloth, and that's because the guys out there have a little bit thicker fingers than me. But I have found that my little pinky will go in and swoop back out, cleaning that little cradle in there. It's very quick, very simple, very easy. Again, you don't have to get 100% of the old stuff out. You're just trying to get the bulk of the old burnt stuff out of there so that you can bring in some new. And I'm just kind of moving my finger to a different spot on the towel. There we go. All right. Clean the rollers. So this is why I get one of the rare instances I use paper towel. So these are the little half sheet paper towels, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear this until I have 16 little pieces. So now I have 4. And then I end up with 8. And then I tear those in half and I get 16. Pretty simple, but this is going to keep my fingers clean. You want to keep your fingers clean for this maintenance. The most important part about this maintenance is how you handle your rollers. This nylon roller part here, which is on the new ones, is white. You don't want to get any grease on that. So when I handle it, I'm actually touching here so that I don't pick up any grease from the sides. So you want to keep this nice and clean. So with the little towel, little tiny piece, what I can do is go in on one side and I twist and get, go in on one side and twist and get, and then I fold that in on itself so the dirty stuff's inside. Then I go on the other side, go in, twist, get all that grease out of there, and then I'm going to throw this away. And for me, that's on the floor for now. All right, so we're going to throw that away. Anyways, all right, so again, I'll show you one more time up close in case we missed a piece. Oh, they weren't torn, huh? That's okay. All right, so go in, twist, get all that old stuff out, fold that in so it stays nice and clean, go in with the other side, and voila, you are clean. I'm going to do it all in one step. So then we're going to grease. So they say to put 3 little dabs. So you can do dab, dab, dab. Okay. I'm going to pick a spot. Doesn't have to be the same one it was before. Put it in. If I wipe this clean, I'm going to wipe my fingers off. Again, that's why I wear an apron, so that I can wipe all the grease on my apron and not my clothes. All right, next one. Did I clean this one? No, I cleaned this one over here. This one is clean. Now, the other thing that you can do is, you're just trying to get grease on the stud, right? So you could go in with a tiny little thin film all the way around. 3 little blobs as well. Reinstall. Make sure there's no thread. Wiggle it in. Wipe my fingers on my apron. Next one. And it's just repeating. Wipe grease. Reapply grease. This is why I do it all at once, because then I have it in my hand. Reapply grease. And reinstall. And clean. Where's my chat? Here's my chat. What do I have here? Good morning, Marianne. Last week's video was so helpful. Thank you for continuing the maintenance. You are welcome. That is exactly why we're doing it together, so that we can learn more about our machine. Because this puppy makes us money. So we want to make sure that she runs smoothly. All of your maintenance is designed to help you maintain your machine functioning nice and smooth, and everything runs well and you don't have any issues. Especially if you have a single machine. One machine goes down because of a problem, you are out of business till your tech comes. We don't want that. Maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. Coming from a technician, it's important. Maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. Wiping my fingers clean on my apron. Clean that roller. I would say put on your favorite podcast, but your podcast would be me. Okay. Jerry's knocking at the door. Jerry's the dog. Wiggle. There's Jerry. Move that thread out of the way. Wiggle that roller. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wait. Got it. Okay. Almost got the maroon thread caught in there. Okay. Remind me where you're from, Marianne. Ooh, party lights. Okay. Central New Jersey. Central New Jersey. Nice. We just had our first taste of cool weather. Last couple of days, a front came down through. Hi, Jerry. You coming over to say hi? This is nothing for you to eat, love. Smell. See, yeah, you don't want that. He says, but you have something in your hand, Mom. Okay. I got 4 more, and then we can move on to the next step. All right, Miss Marianne, since you're here, what model machine do you have? I am considering getting a hold of an older XT machine. Okay, doing some maintenance. I have to remember to put it up here so you can see. And rollers. Yeah, so these rollers are working very hard for you. So let's talk about these rollers just a little bit. Didn't hear the question. Terry, hello from Central Nebraska. I love your videos, and I have an EMT16X, new and still learning. Welcome. Yes. So I have lots and lots. You are exactly why I make videos for the new people. I have lots of tutorials and I'm working on them, and all of my videos are based off of someone asking me, how do I do this? How do I do that? Or maybe you watch some of the Melco videos and you don't quite understand because they do speak like engineers. And if you can't quite understand what they're saying because it's a little far out there, just let me know and I'll make a video for you. So we are doing maintenance. Let's see, Marianne has an XTS. Welcome. Thank you for the great content. I love that. So the XTS is a fabulous machine as well. I was thinking about the XT or the XDS because those are the models that will allow you to use a sequin adapter, which has become a very rare thing because they used to be big, and then they dropped the whole sequin adapter program. And I have an adapter from when I had an XTS machine, and I took it off before I traded it in, so it would be nice to have it. So if you're interested, I think there are some technicians that have a few of the kits. I don't know if you can still get them from Melco or if they just have parts, but it's an older thing. Okay, rollers are in. Let's see. Tell me more about the sequin adapter. So back in the day, Melco decided to, sequins becoming a big thing, so they designed and developed a sequin adapter that would go on the machine that would stitch sequins down, as well as embroidery, all in one, which was amazing and fabulous, and is actually how I became a technician, because when I bought that, they had to fly a technician out from Colorado because there was one technician in the country that could install them. I literally bought it while it was like in research and development and had to wait for it. And he flew out, helped me. Well, he installed the sequin adapter and I helped him because he got behind the machine and couldn't come back and forth. Is how I had my studio at the time. And by the end of the day, he had said, "We need a technician in Florida. You should register for the program." So I called and became a technician because of my sequin adapter. So it's kind of pretty sentimental to have, but it is 20-year-old technology, and it will only go on the XT and the XTS machine. You have Bernina digitizing software that has a similar feature. Yeah, so even the Design Shop software has the sequin ability to digitize for the sequins. I think it's in the higher levels. I'd have to go back and check. I could digitize all day long for sequins. I just can't sew them because I've gotten rid of the older machines. I'm just reinstalling my covers now. Never used it. See, I can't see the word. Never bought the feet for the sequin adapter. Oh, it's a whole piece that hangs off of the machine with the spools and everything. It's not just a foot like on your home sewing machine. Now, you want to clean your covers before you put them back on. This groove at the top of the cover here, you want to keep that clean. So mine are clean, so I'm just kind of wiping them off. But if you had gunk down in here, you're going to want to use a brush. Don't use an old toothbrush. Because if you build up lint in this part of this cover here, it can make your thread kick out on either side. So if you find your thread is always sliding out of your rollers on one side or the other, and you haven't done your maintenance in a while, do your maintenance. And clean those covers, because that's probably causing it. I have had that as a service call. I think I have watched all of your videos at least twice. Yay! And more to come. Yeah. So if you need to know how to do something, by all means, send me a message and I will make the video for you. Stick around, because at the end of the video, we are going to do a unboxing. I have a very special box that we're going to open Can you redact the addresses off that? All right, covers are in. Now we're going to do the top rollers. Let me forward my maintenance. We've installed covers. Now we're going to do our rollers. So rollers are tricky. If you're using the old red styled rollers, they pop off a lot easier. They have redesigned the new black rollers to snap in a lot tighter. So the force in which you have to pull to get this roller off of here is so much that if you just pull, you're going to snap your arm off. So you want to pull to the left with your thumb and to the right with your fingers, counter pressure to pop this roller loose. Mine are pretty clean. I don't see any reason to get in there and clean. I'm just going to add a new blob of grease at the top. And reinstall. Go back and do 2. They almost fall right off when you pop them out now. I will be surprised if I don't throw one on the floor. And number 1, I don't even try to pull one out of the machine unless I'm replacing it, because that one you will snap off because you have to push it so far to get it out. So just go in and put your grease in. So then I'm going to line up my thread. 1, 2, 3, and basically pop off. Put my grease. Pop the new one on. And then we're going to be done with our monthly and our quarterly maintenance. What is our time? What? 57. So it took me an hour. It would have taken me less than an hour to do all of this if I wouldn't have stopped and chatted. Question. Okay, thank you. I got strings tangled. Untangling string. Question. Okay, what do we have? I'm unable to find the needles you mentioned in your puff video. Did you get them from Madeira? I did. And I will make sure to put a link in the video when we're done. But yes, I did get them from Madeira. The KKs. Do I even have them back here? No, these are all 75s. Okay. But yes, the KKs ones. They are from Madeira. That one's already greased. Yeah, they made it stitch out very nice. And I'll go back to that video and make sure to pop a link to them down in the video as well if it's not there. Because I definitely want people to be able to get a hold of the products that I'm showing, even though I'm not an affiliate. I'm not monetized. I do all of this just to help everybody out until one day maybe I get monetized. Watch more videos. The only thing stopping me from getting monetized is watch time, so please watch videos. Put comments on the videos. Ask me questions in the videos. At the moment, I'm not getting a lot of questions, so I will be able to read and respond to it usually within a day. Just kind of depends on what I'm doing that day. And that's another thing we're going to talk about next week, more about needles. Needles, all about needles. Well, maybe not all, but as much as I know. Okay. And we got 3 left, guys. I'm almost there. 15 and 16 aren't even threaded. What was I doing when I unthreaded them? I don't even remember. It doesn't matter. I'll rethread them later. Okay, rollers are down. Next, grease, clean. We didn't really clean because they're new. Put grease and reinstall. Line up your thread, and we're done. 30 million maintenance is done. We're done. We're done. We're ready to do some sewing. Okay, maintenance, guys. So please do your maintenance. Coming from a technician, maintenance is key. Keeping your machine greased is key. Then you will not have parts wearing out because they got dry. So subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit the bell. Make sure you select all so you see all my videos, and give my video a thumbs up. But stick around. We're gonna go and do an unboxing. All right. So where I got a magic box. So next week we are going to be talking about needles. So I got a special needle to help with next week. So let's unbox this baby. Didn't you have an X-Acto knife somewhere? Oh, there it is. I'm gonna sit down over here. Strangest unboxing ever, right? Down here. Yeah. Okay. Well, oh, okay, I see. Tape. Thank you, Candor, for all of the tape. It is taped up very well. It's not a normal box. Okay. Ooh, some black crinkly stuff. All right, let's set that down. And then we have some star paper. What is this? He said he sent me a special prize. That must be what this is. We'll set that aside. This is the inside. Looks like a nice wooden box. This is going to be something that is a prototype for an item I'm going to be putting up on my website. Oh, it's already coming open. Hold on. Smell the wood. So it's a nice wooden box that has a drawer. Very nice. I talk about packaging. So I have, it's all here. I have a needle. This one is 6 inches, so that when I am doing my tutorials in person, I can pull out a big needle that has all of the different pieces for education. But the coolest part is this. Now I got to figure out how it goes together. Oh, I see. I'm gonna back up. It's not big enough. It's a 27-inch long needle. So how amazing is that? That it comes apart and I can store it in this cute little box. It's amazing. Tell me you can definitely see the long groove in that needle. This is going to be so much fun. There's the eye, there's the tip. I keep wanting to go this way to get back in the frame, but it's going that way. This is so awesome. I love it, Kendor. Thank you so much. Okay, so we are going to be talking about needles next week and everything that I know about needles and educating on needles. This is amazing. In a cute little storage container at that. Okay, now, what is this special thing? I'm supposed to take a picture and send it back to him. Ooh. Oh my gosh. It is a drink coaster that has, let's see, is that right? It's a turtle sitting in front of an embroidery machine. Yes. My hand up there makes it better. There it is. It's a turtle sitting in front of an embroidery machine. I love it. It looks like it's laser etched on there. That is amazing. He sent me this AI image and was like, I made an image for you. And I was like, oh, it's very cute. I didn't know he was going to make me a drink coaster. Thank you, Kendall, for the drink coaster. I love it. What do we have? Awesome. Yes. The summit, no less. Correct. The summit. Yeah. So how awesome is that? Thank you so much for this added little bonus thing. I'll have it in my studio forever. So if you are interested, I'm going to have the needle listed. It's going to be in gray. This was a prototype, but I'm going to have the needle listed if you're interested in a needle up on the website before next week. I love it. I love it. In the wooden box as well. All right, guys. So we have done some awesome things today. We did some unboxing. We did some maintenance. So if you haven't done your roller maintenance, go and do your maintenance. It's very important. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And we are going to wrap it up for today. And I will see you next Sunday where we get to talk about needles. Oh, yes. Have a